Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Every single day, y'all. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Wherever you get your podcast. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, make sure you subscribe. You are getting the best daily Gamecock women's basketball coverage across the land. Y'all. Hey, we got a good one today, y'all. We are going to address some rumors that have been thrown around, some rumors that's been on the social medias and things of that nature. And that is there a scenario where Kamilla Cardoso will come off the bench? Is there a scenario though? Kamilla Cardoso will come off the bench. We're gonna talk about it. And she's back from Brazil. And we played Tennessee in 2 days, February the 15th. We played Tennessee. And Tennessee is a good basketball team. Rickea Jackson is amazing. Rickea Jackson probably a top 5, top 6 individual drafted in W. You know, we playing at Tennessee. Okay. Now Tennessee has been on some, isn't Tennessee of old. They're not that squad no more. But we got to play basketball. The game is on ESPN prime time. I think it's at 7:00 p.m. So it's going to be a nice situation. It's going to be an amazing situation, and we got to play ball. Kamilla Cardoso was in Brazil doing work over there, doing her thing, doing what we think she's capable of doing every single night she's on a basketball court. It's a reason why she's going to be drafted in the W high. Last projections I saw, she's going to be drafted top 5. Top 5 for Kamilla Cardoso. Now, in her absence against Missouri and against UConn, Ashlyn Watkins started at center. Chloe Kidd started at power forward. And national media was like, okay, Kamilla Cardoso is gone. Our leading rebounder, our leading scorer is not on this basketball team for these 2 games. What will the offense, what would the defense look like? Well, if you follow Captain Will, you already know what the offense, what the defenses look like because I talked about it. It's just the next female up. That's all it is. Next female up. When you got so many talented players, one player is injured, one player is away from the team, one player is across the world trying to make the Olympic team. Next player up. That's how we roll. That's why we recruit so well for those circumstances. And in her absence, Watkins started, and Watkins balled. Yeah, she balled. She did. She was aggressive on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. And it's amazing to see because you see what the future looks like with Ashlyn Watkins, sophomore, for next year, once Kamilla Cardoso is gone. But with Kamilla back, do Coach Staley put Kamilla on the bench and have Watkins starting? Let's take a look at that. Ashlyn Watkins, 6'7" from Brazil, senior, started her career in Syracuse. Came to South Carolina her sophomore year before she, went to Syracuse. She was McDonald's All-American 5-star recruit, top 5 ranked player in her recruiting class, number 1 center in her recruiting class. Okay. Ashlyn Watkins was the 12th ranked player in her recruiting class, 6'3", from Columbia. Okay. Won the McDonald's All-American dunk contest. We know the things that she brings to the table. We know the things that Kamilla Cardoso brings to the table. This is teletape, right? This is like a UFC fight. This is an old school boxing match. This is what it is, right? Okay. Kamilla Cardoso. Let's talk about Kamilla Cardoso first. Overall, in all the ball games that she's played, I think it's 21 ball games, 21 games that she's played, missed 2. Her, she's averaging about 25 minutes a game. 25 minutes a game. I think it's 25.3 minutes a game. She's averaging 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 2 turnovers. 60% from the field and 68% from the free throw line. Those are solid to excellent numbers, especially for this basketball team. Those numbers, like I said before, lead the team in points, lead the team in rebounds. Cumulative numbers through 21 basketball games. She's shooting 60% from the field, 68% from the free throw line. Kamilla Cardoso, likely, if those numbers hold up, are likely to be the SEC Player of the Year. I don't care what other teams' players are doing. She's playing for the number 1 team in the country. And according to those numbers, she's the best player on this basketball team. Okay? And I also predict if those numbers hold up and we continue our number 1 ranking, which I assume we will, she will be on a All-American team, first team or second team. The numbers speak for itself, and this is the number 1 team in the country. So stats will be spread out on this basketball team because everybody shares the ball, everybody eats, everybody takes shots. There's no high usage rate for players on this team. No high usage rate. I think the highest usage rate for our team is MiLaysia Fulwiley. I think hers is like 27%. You know what Juju Watkins is? Juju Watkins has the highest usage rate in the country, like 45%. Caitlin Clark is number 2, like 42%. Okay. So our team spreads the ball around, and Kamilla Cardoso is doing that work. And, you know, in SEC play, because she's played in 9 SEC games, and because she, you know, she missed the Missouri game, and for this purpose of exercise, I'm going to say UConn was an SEC game. So I'm going to count that game as a quote unquote SEC game. So she missed 2 quote unquote SEC games. Okay. But her stats are still very, very good. There's no way of denying it. There's no way of denying the impact that Kamilla Cardoso has and is doing for the South Carolina Gamecocks. No way to deny it. No one deny it. In SEC play, which is a very good conference, going to have multiple teams in the tournament, and which I think increased. I think got better over time. In SEC play, Kamilla Cardoso is averaging 25 minutes a game, similar to what she averaged in regular play, averaging 14 points, 9 rebounds, 1.88 assists per basketball game, 2 blocks, 57% for the field, 64% from the free throw line, 2.00 turnovers per game. And you might ask the question, like, why are you talking in decimal points? Why are you doing that? It will make sense. Stay with me. Stay with me, fam. Just stay with me. Kamilla Cardoso is an excellent basketball player. Excellent basketball player with excellent stats. Let's talk about Ashlyn Watkins. Overall. Most of the time, Ashlyn Watkins comes off the bench. Right? She's averaging 20 minutes a game. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, shooting 58% from the field, 55% overall from the free throw line. Those are good numbers. Those numbers are very similar to what Kamilla Cardoso had last year off the bench, in which she won the SEC 6 Woman of the Year. Those numbers are very comparable to her numbers last year. Ashlyn Watkins, sophomore, comparable numbers to what Kamilla Cardoso did as a junior last year. Something to watch out about. In SEC play, 11 basketball games. Remember, I'm counting the UConn game. Okay? In SEC play, Ashlyn Watkins is averaging 24 minutes. Her minutes per game went up by 4 minutes. She's also averaging still 9 points. But now she's averaging 8 rebounds. She's averaging 1.45 assists per basketball game. Okay? Kamilla Cardoso is averaging 1.88. Not much of a difference. Not much of a difference. Kamilla Cardoso is averaging just a tick more assists, and we lament about the high post game of a high-low game of Kamilla and Chloe and how they are so in sync and how much of a great passer Kamilla Cardoso is. Well, she's about a half of assists ahead of Ashlyn Watkins, and nobody thought that Ashlyn Watkins was a decent to pretty good assist maker. Didn't think about that. She's averaging 3 blocks a game in SEC play. Kamilla Cardoso is averaging 2 blocks in more time. She plays a minute more. Okay. And the field goal percentage, Ashlyn Watkins is 61% from the field. Kamilla Cardoso, 57%. 57%. So through SEC play, Ashlyn Watkins is shooting a higher percentage than Kamilla Cardoso. The 6'7" potential SEC player of the year, Ashlyn Watkins, is 4% higher. And in free throws, this blew my mind. My mind blew it all the way. Ashlyn Watkins is shooting 65% from the free throw line in SEC play. SEC play, locked in, knows her assignment, and putting in work. Kamilla Cardoso is averaging 64% in free throws in SEC play, in conference play. Ashlyn Watkins is averaging 1.36 turnovers per basketball game in SEC play. Kamilla Cardoso is averaging 2.00 turnovers. Remember I said, just stay with me. Those decimal points going to mean something. This is what it means. This is what it means. The numbers are very comparable, y'all. The numbers are very compatible. In SEC play, Cardoso plays a little bit more than Cardoso. And then Watkins, just a little bit. In terms of points per game, Cardoso is averaging about 5 points more per game than Watkins. Rebounds, Cardoso getting 1 more rebound than Watkins. Assists, a half of assists a game, more. Half of assists a game. Watkins, 1 more block shot. But she's shooting a higher field goal percentage and she's shooting a higher free throw percentage and she commits less turnovers. You know, studying this, I was like, wow, this is much closer than what I thought because I was like, oh, for sure, Kamilla Cardoso has to start. There's no scenario in which, Captain Will's mind that I can say that Kamilla Cardoso will not start for the Gamecocks. None. But once you start peeling that onion back, and I want to appreciate, I cannot remember the subscriber name, but I appreciate you, sister, about throwing this scenario my way. And I was like, okay, this is dope. This is something I can talk about. I appreciate you. But I love analytics. I love numbers. I love how things are shaped offensively, how things are shaped defensively. I like rewatching the game and just follow the players and not the basketball. I love doing that because you see what everybody is doing. A lot of times you watching the game, you follow the basketball, but you don't follow the other 4 players on the basketball team. You just following the ball. But I love watching it the other way. And in watching with my eyes, you kind of notice that Ashlyn Watkins is, the best defender on this team. I watch it with my eyes. I watch it. Now, y'all know how I love analytics. You know how I love analytics, how I love breaking down the numbers of the team's offensive rating, of the team's defensive rating. You know I love doing those things, and I talk about it pretty much every day. But what I've never done is break down the individual player offensive rating, the individual player defensive rating. And I thought this was a good time to talk about Kamilla Cardoso and do a comparison, say for Kamilla Cardoso and Ashlyn Watkins. It's not like rocket science. It's not, set in stone. It's not none of those things. But just for comparison's sake, and we're comparing the offensive rating versus defensive rating for both of these players. And you're talking about the number of points they give up per 100 possessions. Okay. So or score in 100 possessions. All right. So the offensive rate, and this is specifically just for SEC play. So we're not factoring in when we play Clemson or Mississippi Valley State or South Dakota State. None of these teams that we're factoring in. Okay. So offensive rating specifically, Kamilla Cardoso has an offensive rating of 119.3. 119.3. Ladies and gentlemen, in conference play, Ashlyn Watkins is pretty much the same, but a tick better than Kamilla Cardoso. Ashlyn Watkins is 119.8. 119.8. I didn't expect that. I just thought these easy layups that Cardoso is getting, and she putting the ball back in the basket, all those different things that we see, these bunnies and all this stuff, that her rating was going to be a lot higher than Ashlyn Watkins, but it's not. Matter of fact, Ashlyn Watkins' offensive rating is a little higher than Kamilla Cardoso. And then we talk about the defensive rating. And I already mentioned that I thought that, with my video eyes, I thought that Ashlyn Watkins was the best defensive player on this team. I thought she was the best defensive player on the team. We see the block shots. We see all those things. But sometimes block shots doesn't necessarily mean that you're one of the best defenders on this team. It doesn't. Or one of the best defenders in the SEC. It doesn't. But Kamilla Cardoso has a defensive rating, y'all, of 76.1. You know what Ashlyn Watkins' defensive rating is? It's not 76.1. It is 72.6. 72.6. 3.5 points better than Kamilla Cardoso. The net rating for both of these players is Ashlyn Watkins, 47.2. Kamilla Cardoso, 43.2. 4 points better. Analytically speaking, we just talking about analytically speaking. We ain't talking about what we see on the TV. We're not talking about what we see at the live thing. We're not talking about what you see, on your laptop or your phone. Analytically speaking, Ashlyn Watkins is having a better overall year than Kamilla Cardoso. It blew my mind too. I had no idea. And I was surprised as hell. I had no idea. That is why I love analytics. It breaks everything down. It breaks possession by possession, minute by minute. That's what I love. That's what I get up for. I'm going to do a shot after this show because I'll be so happy. Will Kamilla Cardoso sit on the bench and Ashlyn Watkins start? I don't know the answer to that question. We'll find out Thursday. But I tell you this right here, the reason there was no drop-off with Ashlyn Watkins starting and Kamilla Cardoso playing overseas with her team, Brazil, was because in actuality, according to analytics, the team got better at the starting position, having Ashlyn Watkins instead of Kamilla Cardoso. I don't know what to say. This is such a tough decision for Coach Staley to decide who to start. Both of them going to get the minutes. Both of them average about 25, 24 minutes a game. So who starts the ball game? Do we go back with Kamilla Cardoso because she didn't lose her position? You know what I'm saying? She just went overseas and did her thing. But in her absence, Ashlyn Watkins put in work. Can you lose your position when you didn't really lose your position? Ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait for Thursday. I can't wait to see how this thing unfolds. And I cannot wait to track more individual play of analytic individual play from our team and comparing other teams. Because tomorrow, I'm doing a show. I'm going to do a show previewing the game versus Tennessee, but I'm also going to do my mid-season awards. SEC, NCAA. I'm going to do my first team, SEC. I'm going to do my first team, NCAA All-American. You know what it's going to it's going to encompass? It's going to encompass defense, y'all. It is going to encompass defense. The all-around play. You heard what I said about a net rating for these two special queens. I'm going to do the net rating for those players that just play offense and see what they actually play defense. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun tomorrow. Yo, this concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You now rocking with the best because ain't nobody giving these numbers like Captain Will. Nobody out there. Come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.